Hello, YouTubers. This is one of my programming sessions, which I was going to, well, I initially intended to start on providing tidbits on simple JavaScript programming or Node.js programming. This week, I want to go a little bit further by creating a little application. It's a very simple application, a multiplication application. And this would it's just a little bit of fun. We will be using arrays, and we're using one of the loops as a for each, and we just give you a feel for writing your little simple applications. So we'll start by, as usual, I always annotate, put comments in. So I'm going to start by just put in some comments. There we go. My first my first application, that would be most appropriate. My first YouTube application, and just put in dash times tables. That'll do. Okay. Yes, I spelled correctly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to first load in libraries. So I'm going to load the read line. This is intended to take an input from the console. So it's all purely console driven. No websites and stuff like that. Just basic console. So I'm going to use const rl. I'll call it rl. Equals require read line. That'd do fine. Okay, and require read line, and I'm going to create interface. Okay, put our object in there, and input. Std process is a process. Stand in, comma, output. Process dot standard out. Okay. So as I said, this is intended to. I'll just put a comment there so at least we know. Let's go on load file library to take input from console. Okay, so we would we'll now prompt it by taking input from the. Let me create an array first. So should I do the? I'll create an array. Let me create an array. Array. Okay. Times tables. That'll be my array. Let table equals. So I'm going to open up an array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're doing it, so we're going to limit it to 12 times table. So whichever inputs the user puts in, then it would multiply accordingly, and it will create the times table. So let us do the question. So question, right? It would be rl. Let's see. Accept input from console. Okay, so rl dot question. So put the question, enter times table, enter times table. I think I do. Or say enter, let me just to restrict, enter number between 1 and 12. Yeah, that's it. Do 12. Then we give it a variable because it accepts this RL accepts a variable, so it would use that variable. So let's call it input number. Let's do number. That'll do fine. Okay. We would what I'm going to do. We're going to try and error catch any bad console number, so or invalid console number. So I'm going to give it. Okay. So we just put an if statement in there. If let's say if input number is less than 1 or input number is greater than 12, then we just throw input number between 1 and 12. Okay. Input a number between 1 and 12. And we could say else console log. We just put what we're going to put. We're going to use the E6 for a standard format, so I can insert the variable. So let's say input number, close the curly braces. Then so the number would be, we say if it's 6 times over 6 times table. So I can just say times table. 6 times table. That'll do fine. And in here, I'm going to create a little space there. So, oops, that'll do fine. Yeah, so that's table. Okay. Now we can let's create a little space in here. So when it's displaying, we have a gap between the question up here and the results. So I'm just going to put some console logs. Yeah, console logs, just gaps. So log do fine. I think I should put a asterisk or a line. So log and we just put asterisk to do fine. Just a line. So when it's displaying, then we get to the full thing. So we're going to now say let. So we're going to create a variable. So we do the calculation and it stores the answer. So we say let answer equals. And let's do a for each across the array. So we use a for each to loop. Okay, let's do the for each. Yeah, so for each. Okay, for each, and then our array, which is times table, for each element, and say answer. Let's create our variable. Let answer. answer, if I could spell answer. Did I spell it correctly? Answer equals input, which is input number, multiplied by the element, so that's each element, and we would be able to console log that. Say console.log, and we say we'll put the number. We say so the description would be 6 times 1. So this the in number. So it starts from whichever number. So we say the element. So that's the first one that comes. The element will be, so again using the E6 dollar element, yes. So whatever the element multiplied by the in number input. We use a variable again, so we use input number, close the braces, and then we'll say equals to the answer. So that would be another variable, answer, and close. And that should do it. And we go close that, and then we put readline close RLs. Let's go. We close the question because that request question will continue to run. So there's a method on how to close that. So we just say rl.close, so it doesn't keep running. Oops. And we'll close that. So save that. Let me see what I've got in there. I think I've got it YouTube times table. LS. Right, I'm in the wrong folder. Open terminal. LS. YouTube times table. I just copy that. I know you can use the tab, but node, Control-V, and hopefully ask a question between. Let's try the error one. Let's see if you can catch an error. 0. Fantastic. So it throws the error. Input number between 1 and 12. So try 13. And this is 13. There we go. That's and then now we try a valid. Let's clear the screen. Valid entry. Let's say 4. So input 4. There we go. That's a 4 times table. 4 times table. So that's a quick application to create a times table. So I hope you all enjoyed it and try it out yourselves. And we'll see what we can do next time. Thank you very much, YouTubers, in the next video. Bye-bye.